Oh, this time it was a very interesting topic. We are talking about why analytics training is dead, as you understand it. I think that the name itself was kind of very catchy and really caught a lot of attention of people. We're doing this jointly, the Math Company and Jigsaw Academy. As you know, Jigsaw is one of the training organizations. So for them to talk about why analytics training is dead is definitely very interesting. We primarily highlighted that the way we understand analytics and training today, that is dead. It is more about capability build. What it should be in the next generation, what should be 2.0. Highlighted on what the changes that are happening around us, and therefore how the emergence of a citizen data scientist is there. It is not just about skill building, it is about 4S, as we said. We said select, we said skill, solve and socialize. So that was kind of primarily it. And then we also had one of the organizations that we are working with, MAS, which is a Sri Lankan based apparel manufacturer. They talk about their experience of how they are adopting this new way of learning and creating capability. I think overall it was very enjoyable and the audience was great. So for us, we are an AI kind of analytics firm, right? So for us, it is all about analytics. I think it's more importantly, what are we seeing in our organizations, in the enterprises that we work with, right? The transformation that we are seeing happening. I think that's amazing. Places where you'd least expect kind of data to play a role. Today, kind of data is all over it, right? I mean, like some of the hardcore manufacturing, suppliers, a lot of procurement exercise. Earlier it used to be marketing risk. Some of these things are known ones. So definitely we see organizations across the globe adopting big time. Big time, right? So I spent about 20 years. May not look that old, but I'm old, right? But I think we started at a time when if I say analytics, I don't think too many people understood. Forget about my family. Even a lot of people, if I introduce myself, at best they'll say, "Oh, IT." That's where it is. First thing today, I don't think I have a problem, right? If I say analytics, a lot of people say, "Oh, okay," and they in fact add. They said, "Oh, big data, machine learning," right? That's how they add. India has seen a great journey, right? I think initially there are a lot of these large global companies, right? I mean, not just GEs of the world, but Amex and Tesco and Target, and there are a lot of these firms starting their kind of in-house analytics units in India. So that gives the initial boost. And then obviously the Indian banks in particular started adopting analytics. So that was another kind of a journey. And then starting around 2003-04, a lot of Indian kind of analytics firms started coming up, and they became really the world leaders, kind of the Mu Sigmas of the world, the Fractals of the world, and I think in some way we are continuing that trend and in the new world thinking of it differently. So yeah, the market has evolved quite a bit. Well, quite a few, right? Honestly, quite a few. First and foremost, I think the definition of analytics is changing. I think before I go to trend, right? Earlier it used to be about solving a specific problem. In many cases now it is about the way you do business, right? If you look at kind of how marketing is done today, I think it's not very different from doing analytics. Right? How risk management is done today, it is not very different. So the definition is evolving, right? That is one. Definitely a lot more adoption of unconventional data sources, right? No longer data is in the form of data is no longer in the form of structured data. It's no longer rows and columns, right? It is more about video. It is more about image. It is more about speech. It is more about machine data. Fantastic work being done with machine data. So I see kind of this new world of leveraging newer sources of information that you never thought of doing before, right? So I think that is where the new trends lies. Oh, new tech sector. Yeah. I think they're primary, right? I mean, first of all, there is a massive change that is happening, right? The ability to keep up with the change is, I think, the first and foremost challenge. I think forget about everything else. Just ability to be, at the forefront, understanding what is happening. Because the moment you start doing something, in a few months it is becoming obsolete. So this rate of change is, I think, the biggest kind of challenge in front of the tech. So now if you take from there to the next level, then it requires a different level of mindset, right? There's gone are the days where I say that I am a Cognos expert, right? I mean, it has no value, right? I mean, I can be like somebody talked about Power BI quite a bit, Tableau, Python, Spark. You can be an expert today, but believe me, 6 months later there will be a new one, right? I mean, people are talking about new languages like Julia, and I say, well, today is Julia, tomorrow it will be Sophia, right? I mean, who knows what it is? So change is important. Therefore, and obviously, there is way more demand than supply. So I think the right qualified manpower continues to be a big challenge, right? While we talk about automation, believe me, there is still a very important role that human beings play, and that supply is a big trouble, not just in India, so not just globally, even in India. People think that we are a $1.25 billion, not dollar, population country. So we should have enough people, but believe me, it's not that the case. So changes, and therefore having the right kind of people who can kind of move along with the changes. I think those are the major ones. Everything else can be solved if this can be solved. Yeah, that's a good point. Definitely upskilling, but as we talked, upskilling in the conventional manner where you expect to kind of be a course, right? Where you go and do a course, right? I mean, gone are the days. Definitely, there is a lot of learning from the internet, right? I mean, the YouTubes of the world are really making it democratized. But then having an opportunity to practice and really do something. I think you have to learn only by doing. I mean, there is no other option. I mean, I cannot rely on a classroom because this is new. Who will teach me, right? I have to have a learning mindset to learn from whoever is inventing it, probably, right? So it is upskilling, but a different form of upskilling. I think it is more in the mind than kind of being in a classroom, being a course, being an L&D group, creating a curriculum for you. I don't think that's as effective. Oh, beautiful. So last time was the first time I came for Cypher. I had a talk with one of my kind of clients at that time, and we talked about how to build how to bring back the E in the COE. Right? I remember that was the topic. I think the audience is great. It's only getting better. A lot of relevant people, I would say. Kind of sometimes what happens in a conference, there are a lot of people, but not as many relevant people. But I look at Cypher, not just for me talking to a lot of people is obviously exciting, but meeting a lot of people that I have not met for ages, but I know they're in the industry, right? So today from the morning, the number of messages that I got, right, that's amazing.